Hey guys, so today I actually have a very cool deck that I want to profile. It is Big Fish. It is a deck you don't see very often because it is mostly a deck that is for fun because it is a little bit fragile. But it's super cool and people really enjoy the deck because Big Fish is such inherently like a cool card who seems like super explosive and very powerful. So people are drawn to this deck usually for Coelacanth himself. I actually took this deck to, that came out really weird. I took this deck to locals today. One of our smaller locals, usually we play fun decks on this day. So it was like a very small tournament. So it wasn't like a big win. However, despite being a more fun tournament, I played against Zodiac, Eldritch, Shadal, like 60 card pile, if you know that deck. And I played against Drytron. So those were some of the decks that were being played at our fun tournament today, so it didn't really feel much like an easygoing fun tournament. But I actually took first, and I did win all my die rolls, in case you're wondering. So I did have some fortune, because this is a very hard go first deck. But either way, I just want to profile it because it's super fun. This profile is going to be a little shorter than most of my other profiles because I feel like explaining the deck is less important about Big Fish and showing like combos is more important. So I'll probably do a combo video and like a hand test video with this deck at a separate date, sometime close to me recording this. At the time of recording, Blazing Vortex is pretty much the newest set, so that's when this is being recorded. Drytron and Eldritch and Dinosaur and Virtual World, those are the best decks right now, so a little bit of perspective for anyone who's watching this way past the time of uploading. But anyways, let's get into the list. So starting off, 3 Super Ancient Deepsea King Coelacanth. So this is the main boss monster of the deck. He is all you want to turbo out. You just want to summon him, use his effect, have it resolve, and make crazy endgame boards. While the deck is a little fragile, if it can make its boards are definitely high-end, top-tier, like near unbreakable. They're just super powerful, and they only lose to cards like Dark Ruler. So you just want to summon Big Fish and resolve his effect. That is the whole goal, and the entire deck revolves around doing that. I maximize 3 so that I can even see him off of some of my discard outlets to maybe Monster Reborn him or special summon him from the grave. So I just want to see him even if he's a brick sometimes. Next up, 3 Lifeless Leaffish. This is the best fish support we've gotten since maybe Phantom Darkness, or maybe since like the Duelist Genesis, if you count Oystermeister. This card's insane for fish. It is an Armageddon Knight and a Daigusto Emerald in one card, which I know just like hearing that is absurd. Essentially, you just want to turbo this guy out, dump Big Fish, make Dugaris, which is your main form of summoning the fish, and later in the combo you banish him to put all your bricks back and draw a card. So he fuels Big Fish in so many different ways, and he is definitely one of the main cards of the entire deck. And then to follow him up, 3 Botuniful Princess. Gotta love that name. How can you not love a name like Botuniful Princess? Essentially, this is 3 more copies of Lifeless Leaffish. Because you summon it, it banishes itself and specials a level 4 fish from your deck. And yeah, Lifeless Leaffish is almost always the target. So essentially, we're playing 6 Lifeless Leaffish as a way to see Big Fish, but because Botuniful Princess is level 1, you actually can 1-for-1 Leaf Fish out, essentially, which is very, very cool. Next up, we have the extenders. So we have 3 Silent Angler. They're all just level 4 water extenders. So we have 3 White Stingray as well, and 3 Shathana. So the best one here is arguably Shathana. They all do the same thing, right? The objective is get Lifeless Leaffish on board and have one of these so you can make Dugaris. That's all you want to see. Shathana is the best because it's like the easiest. You just, at the start of your turn, you just say, special summon, which is great. But its downside is the fact that if you draw it later in your combo, it's completely dead because you control an effect monster. The downside of White Stingray is, of course, you have to discard a card. However, you can use that to your advantage in a lot of situations. If you open Big Fish, and you can still make Dugaris, White Stingray, being able to pitch the fish is beyond important. So discard outlets can be extenders, which is why I choose to play 3 Big Fish. And then Silent Angler is arguably just the worst one because if you use his effect to special summon himself, you can't special summon other monsters from your hand, which means you can't use Saryuja, which is huge. You can't use like drawn White Stingrays. So like you usually want to finish your combo by specialing this card, or don't use his effect at all and have a different extender, right? But those are the 9 like level 4 extenders to make sure we see big fish, because that is the whole objective of the deck. Next up, we have Big Fish's Bricks, which are the cards you're special summoning off Big Fish that make all of your plays. We have 2 Royal Swamp Eel and 2 Oystermeister. So Oystermeister is another card that people will be like, yeah, that's the reason to play Big Fish, because it's such a degenerate broken card. Honestly, it's really not that great, and in some combos you actually like chain block your Oystermeister token so it doesn't summon in some game states, but he is very, very good for your combos, so you do run 2. Swamp Eel is the level 4 tuner. You just need to see these. Lifeless Leaffish puts them back in the deck so you can use them again, and because your deck is pure water, you're playing 3 Moray of Greed, obviously, so with Moray of Greed you can send these bricks back and still make sure your plays go off. You really only need 1 of each. There is a combo that requires 2 Oystermeister in your deck, but you can only do that combo if under like certain circumstances, like not drawing Oystermeister. And then to go with that package is Fishborg Launcher. Essentially him plus Big Fish is a level 8 synchro, right? So Launcher is a very, very good little brick you can play. But like the bricks are all like good in your hand as long as you can see Big Fish with 2 or 3 cards, so it doesn't really matter. And then 3 Minstrel. If you're playing a pure water deck and you're not playing this card when your deck loses to hand traps, that is definitely something went wrong in deck building. You do run a little low on cards when you're using this and making Big Fish, but she's another way to discard the fish, so you can like still do Dugaris him out of your graveyard or Monster Reborn him. So she's another discard outlet, but you have to be able to banish the Ash or the Nibiru, or this card's mandatory. I mean, we're playing pure water, so we're one of the few decks that get to play a pointer for free, so might as well. And then lastly, to Summoner Monk. So this, if you open a spell in Summoner Monk, it's, you know, he's like a 1-card Big Fish combo, because you discard the spell, you special summon Lifeless Leaffish, he dumps Big Fish, and you make Dugaris right there. The issue I have with Summoner Monk has always been how like punished you are when he gets hand trapped. Like you lose a spell in your hand. Sometimes you have to discard very important spells. And then he's not water, and he can just end up clogging because he's another normal summon to go with all your others. But he is so powerful for making sure you get your fish combos, so I do want to play 2. A card sumless play that I choose not to is Tin Goldfish, and I don't play that because I'm pretty sure, like I definitely should have double checked this before I made the profile, but I think it has to special summon a level 4, not a level 4 or lower. I may be wrong, but if it has to special summon a level 4, it cannot special summon Botuniful Princess, which makes it like a pretty bad extender for the deck, so only cards that maximize making our play. But yeah, Summoner Monk, he's not water, he clogs, so only 2. And that's it for monsters. On to spells. We have the very obvious 3 Moray of Greed. You can send bricks back and draw into your combo. It's a very huge consistency card for water-based decks. Some more draw cards. I'm playing 2 Triple Tactics Talent. You don't have to play this. Obviously, like Big Fish is more of a fun deck in my opinion. And obviously Tactics, if you just want to build a deck for fun, you don't need to afford Tactics to play the deck. You can run like a bunch of different cards over this, like more extenders or just different spells that can also be consistency spells. A lot of things can go over that. But it's also like, yeah, it's just a draw card, right? And then Upstart Goblin, it's the last draw card. So 6 like draw-in cards. And then we have Monster Reborn and World Legacy Succession. These are just extenders. To make sure Fish is in grave, you can summon him, or like if one of your plays gets negated, you can still go off if you have an extender like this. You go into Saryuja in a lot of combos, and you have quite a few cards that say like draw cards, so if you're drawing into extenders like that, it's pretty good. 1 instant fusion for the rare fish in the extra deck, because if you open Lifeless Leaffish and instant fusion, that's full combo, right? So it's just an extender that can make Dugaris and be a fish. So that's pretty cool. 1/1 for 1 because it can get Botuniful Princess, which is essentially Lifeless Leaffish, which gets you to Big Fish. Foolish, like if you open this, like say your Leaffish gets Ashed or Veilered or Impermed, you can still Foolish Burial the Big Fish and do it anyways. And then Called By, because we lose to hand traps. That's just, this is a mandatory. 1 of at the very least, and I think that's 12 spells to activate Summoner Monk, which is a decent number. And then onto extra deck. 1 Link Karibo. You need this for Appaloosa plays because of your Oystermeister token. 1 Beat Cop. In one of your combos, you need to make Beat Cop because you need to send the big fish to the graveyard. 1 BLS because you can make him, and he's pretty good in some scenarios. Appaloosa. There is another card here that I don't have, and it's Yugioh. I was borrowing my friend Yugioh today. But yeah, Yugioh is very important for one of your combos. So it's a 14 card extra deck. If you're wondering what the 15th card is, it's a Yugioh, which I just do not have on me. 2 Dugaris. You can cut one of these for something else. However, if like your first Dugaris gets stopped, sometimes you want to have a second one of the extra deck so you don't like instantly lose should one like Dugaris get, you know, interrupted. Bahamut and Totally Awesome. You can make this very, very easy in 2 different combos, and then Abyss Dweller, because Abyss Dweller is like the card of the format right now. It's just so good for destroying so many decks, and it makes everything big in your deck too because you're running waters, so that's really good. Then we have 1 Monoceros. This is part of your combo because it summons fish for the 2nd time with Swamp Eel and Oystermeister because it's level 7. It's just very, very good. Yeah, summoning fish for free is absolutely absurd. So this is one of the cards that lets this deck exist. 1 Dragite because you can make him very, very easy, and he's part of your end board. 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, part of your end board. White Aura Whale is more of a go second card, and if you have Dark Ruler No More, it's pretty good. And then Rare Fish for the instant fusion. So this video won't have any combos, but I have explained like where the start point is, which is making Dugar special fish. I'll kind of explain the end board. For like the standard combo, it's an Appaloosa with 4 negates, a Totally Awesome, a Dragite, and a Borreload Savage with Beat Cop equipped. And then in the double Oystermeister combo, it's an Appaloosa with 3 negates, a Borreload Savage with a Yugioh equipped, a Dragite, and then either Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome, or 1 Dweller, and Big Fish still stays on the field. So those are like the 2 main combos and where your board sort of ends up. I will show that more in depth in the combo and hand test video. But lastly, the side deck I played today, definitely not like the most polished side deck. You can kind of make adjustments for your locals, and this is just what I played at mine. 3 Gamma Seal because it outs things like Herald of Ultimateness in the non-Vanities Ruler version. It outs like Dragoons, and it's a water, so that's very good because if it's not relevant at that time, you can send it back with Bahamut Shark, so that's really good. So there's some synergy there, but it's just a good go second card. This deck has a very much more difficult time going second. 2 Droll because, again, we had Drytron, and yeah, Droll just can be like an auto win button. And then I also sided 3 Dark Ruler No More because, again, versus Drytron, this card is amazing in the same way Droll is. Like, you just clear their board, and then they usually can't out yours at all. Very, very powerful go second card. Harpy's Feather Duster and double Cosmic Cyclone, and 1 Red Reboot. This is sort of the back row hate for the side deck. You know, there was an Eldritch there, so I played back row hate. It's obviously very good because going second against back row is very, very difficult for a deck like Big Fish, so definitely running these cards. And then the only go first part of the side is 3 Appointer. People are going to side their Dark Ruler No Mores and their like Super Polys and, you know, Gamma Seals or even Sphere Mode, like cards that can really out your board. So you just side Appointer as your only go first card, you draw it with your Yugioh combo, or you draw it with like Leafless Leaffish, or you open it, and you just set it and you make your ultimate turbo win board, and then you follow it up with Appointer, and you're going to win like 90% of those games. So, yep. That is the whole deck. Hope you enjoyed. Do expect a combo video and hand test video for this deck because I feel like a lot of people want to know the combos more in depth because looking at Big Fish and all it can do may seem a little like daunting or intimidating at first. So I'll be sure to make one of those. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Please leave your feedback, comment down below. Peace.